Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for August 30th. We are looking at the US-Japanese yen pair. This particular pair has closed up on Friday barely, did form an inside bar, so be looking for the breakout. This pair also gapped up, so look for the retrace of the gap. Now we are expecting this pair to continue moving sideways with a heavy bias to the downside. Look for this pair to potentially move as high as 94.61 and possibly as low as 62.75. Look for some resistance around 63.64 and look for some support around 92.50 in that particular pair. Now switching to the Euro USD pair, this particular pair created an inside bar as well, closed down, is moving sideways with a bias that is sideways. Look for this pair to potentially move as high as 144.73, possibly as low as 142.02. Look for some resistance around 143.41 and look for some support around 142.50 in this particular pair. Now switching to the pound US dollar pair, this pair created a doji bar on Friday. Excuse me. Did end up closing pretty much at the same level as Friday. We are looking for this pair to continue moving sideways. Definitely has a hard bias to the downside currently, but could be reversing. We'll just have to wait and see. We are looking for this pair to potentially move as high as 164.86, possibly as low as 161.44. Look for some resistance around 163.34 and look for some support around 161.50 in this particular pair. Now switching to the US Swiss, this particular pair closed up on Friday, did create an inside bar, somewhat of a doji bar as well. It is moving sideways and it has a bias that is sideways. Look for this pair to possibly move as high as 1.0684, possibly as low as 10471. Look for some resistance around 10618 and look for some support around 1.0538. Now we have the Canadian dollar releasing their quarterly GDP annualized for the second quarter at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. That's Eastern time. Consensus is things have improved and moved from negative 5.4% to negative 3%. As far as what I'm looking at during this next session, we did have a lot of inside bars. Look at the pound Japanese yen pair. This particular pair is moving, did gap down, did create a doji bar on Friday. If you zoom out a little bit, you can definitely see that we're at some previous areas of resistance that now could be support. There is the possibility of a reversal, at least a short-term reversal. Now, the likelihood, not sure too sure what the likelihood of that is, but you know, we could see it move to this level or even lower down to this level. If you want to use a kind of a contrarian look at this, we do have a doji bar that was created on Friday. This pair did gap down on the open, indicating that you know, the likelihood, the probability is about 89.1% that it will fill that gap prior to the end of the week. It has moved a little higher already. It's a little bit lower now, but the low here from the open, let's just take a look at it as far as number of pips, risking about 67, 65, somewhere in that range. Probably the way I'd play this would be to take a look at the swing trade setup that was created. Go ahead and draw your trend line. Look to enter this trade at somewhere around the 153.30 mark and look for it to move higher from there, possibly up to this point to begin with. Then I would look at this point for a potential places to exit. Even at this level would be a fairly good trade, especially when you consider the fact that you'd only be risking around 70 pips if you put your stop loss down below this session's low. You could definitely go to break even at this point and lock in some profits and basically protect your position as it moves forward. Now, I don't know if this will happen, if this reversal will happen, but the risk to reward ratio is really good for this trade. So definitely take a look at it. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.